Leslie, Robert, you have heavy growth out here. And of course, you have Dell's Children's Hospital, businesses and other construction going on. And of course, plenty of homes and apartments popping up everywhere. That's why the first phase of the urban rail will start here, going to downtown with frequent stops. And they're hoping that will entice drivers to give up their cars and take the rail system. They're used to the gas prices going up and down and have been for years. Now viewers will be able to break a big movie theater rule, and that is they will be able to use their phone to tweet and text during the debate. They're flashing and fast, and I'm not talking about Formula One race cars. Exotic car rentals in Austin are seeing a huge demand from fans coming in to see the race. Todd Hand has killed 60 snakes just by himself, not including his neighbors. The neighborhood thinks the HOA is to blame. Not only does it take motivation, courage, and quick thinking, but being physically fit is a huge part of getting through the academy. 498, 499.
Ames joins us live from Elroy. Casey.
Well, for most of the meeting, noise was the big complaint, followed by traffic. And it's not just the big race weekend that they're talking about. Homeowners out here say for the past 2 weekends, doesn't matter sun up, sun down, they've heard nothing but roaring engines.
Casey James joins us live off 290 in East Travis County. Casey?
Well, Jim, one of those accidents shut down 290 East down to one lane for several hours. And the accident was actually caught on camera. Check out this video.
KXAN's Casey James is there live. Casey, what can you tell us now?
Well, as y'all can see, it's still a very active scene with dozens of fire trucks surrounding the apartment complex. Now, when we showed up, the flames were still shooting from the top of the roof. Now, the fire chief says no one was injured, but we did see one firefighter receiving treatment at an ambulance for minor injuries. It's unclear what those are at this time. At least 30 people will be without a home tonight. Now, Red Cross is on their way to help these people find a place to stay. And the fire has been contained, but the blaze did engulf all of the attic and top floors, while the bottom 2 floors of Building 10 have heavy water damage. They say the entire building is destroyed. Now, the blaze is contained, but due to the strong winds, fire crews are letting the fire burn itself out throughout the night. And, of course, over the next few days, they will keep a close eye on it.
Casey, what's going on out there?
Well, Shannon, Austin Fire Department engineers and code compliance is on the scene right now evaluating Building 1 of the complex. Now, over the last several hours, parts of that building has shifted several times, and officials say they are taking no chances. And never mind the roadblocks, homeowners say drivers just ignore them, jump the curb right here, drive right through this yard, and continue down the closed section of Ditmar to get to South Congress. 40,000 people visited the House of Torment last year, and they said this year they will easily beat that number. Now, don't worry, for those who didn't get a chance to come out, my buddies here.
Leslie and Robert, I'm waiting for you.
They will be here next weekend as well.
Leslie.
You want to check them out.
Leslie.
And Leslie, Robert, it looks like y'all have a personal invitation if y'all want to come out. In North Austin, we were just surprised by a flash mob. If you can check it out. Yeah. Can't beat that out here at the Trails of Lights. You never know what's going to happen. Now, both men believe the VA needs to focus on peer-to-peer counseling in the future, offering more programs where combat soldiers and vets can talk to one another. Someone who's been there, seen what they've seen, someone they can trust.
Going in depth now, KXAN's Casey James sat down with her for reaction on today's announcement.
Well, Major Hager was a combat search and rescue helicopter pilot, honorably serving for 12 years, 2 deployments and 3 tours to Afghanistan. She received the Purple Heart after her helicopter and crew were shot down, even taking a bullet herself.
I was shoulder to shoulder with Special Forces defending our perimeter, and I wasn't treated any differently than anybody else on that crew.
Major Hager believes the lawsuit filed in November of 2012 played a part in the decision to lift the ban.
We were changing the conversation, which was huge when I realized that. When I saw it on the news, I was very excited.
Excitement, proud, concern, anger, disapproval are all emotions people are feeling about this historic decision. Here in Austin, there were plenty of opinions.
There's more women out there that are better qualified than men are.
I think that part of life is often not getting what you want to do, and I don't think one woman should be dictating the protocol for the 49 other women that would have chosen otherwise.
I think they should be able to do that, yeah.
It's not the fact that she can't shoot. It's not the fact that she can't do her job. It's the fact that no matter what the situation is in a combat role, the male is going to be distracted because it's natural instinct of wanting to protect her.
The up-and-coming generation over at UT put in their 2 cents, and most said it's about time women are given the choice.
If women are willing to put themselves in that position, I think they can hold their own.
I do agree with that women should be able to participate openly throughout combat forces, though I would have an exception for special forces.
Major Heger says despite what the public thinks, women have already been fighting in combat situations. But because of the ban, lacked proper training with the men, putting them in even more dangerous situations.
Lifting the ban, opening the jobs to women, the jobs, by the way, that women are doing right now, but actually allowing them to do it and letting them train and letting them gain the respect of the men that they're fighting alongside with is going to completely eliminate that.
Casey James has been spending time with them for the past month, and he traveled to Houston, where they hope a stem cell transplant will be the Christmas miracle they've been looking for.
Well, Robert, it could be a miracle thanks to new technology that has taken a complicated procedure into a simple one. Well, it's been an emotional and draining 8 months for the Marino family. Mark, a 24-year-old Texas State University student, has already gone through 7 separate chemo treatments before receiving his transplant. We were in Houston during the entire transplant and found out the Marino family weren't alone in this experience.
I never considered myself less fortunate. I guess up until April, when I had to rely on so many families and friends and their support.
Terry Moreno's strength is being tested this holiday season as her only son battles acute lymphoblastic leukemia in a hospital room far away from the comforts of home.
We've been watching Christmas movies and, you know, try to make it feel like home. I keep telling myself it's just a little step that we're going to have to endure for now and for things that are going to be better, you know, soon.
The initial infusion's done.
Doctors said Mark needs a bone marrow transplant to beat the cancer in his blood. That's what brought him to Houston, but treatment to prepare Mark for his transplant has been incredibly hard on his body.
And Mark just went through a week-long treatment of chemo, is now highly susceptible to infections, so we have to wear gloves and masks and even wipe down our cameras before we can go in and see him.
It'll drain you fast and it'll keep you drained. They're very understanding of, you know, you have your good days, you have your bad days.
Donor is O positive.
Our cameras were allowed inside the core cell lab at MD Anderson, where they prepare the stem cells for cancer patients.
We are basically processing it on this machine to wash out all of the protective additives that they added to it during the freeze process.
Mark will receive stem cells from the blood of an unknown mother's umbilical cord by separating the healthy cells from the blood.
Let's remove this extra fluid from it and get only the cells, which are what's going to be helpful to the patient.
After 45 minutes, it's time to take the healthy cells to Mark's room, where family, doctors, nurses, and a priest are waiting.
We ask you to bless these cells.
This is a time of hope. This is a time for a new chance.
God bless you.
It takes only 30 minutes to transfuse the new cells into Mark's blood, where doctors hope they will take and grow.
I don't know if we'll ever know who the donors were, but we're forever going to be grateful for that.
Is that way? You want to go that way?
Yeah.
But Terry knows other mothers haven't been as lucky.
You got it?
Their son is only 2 years old, and my heart just goes out to them.
A young couple from Dallas shares the same obstacles.
I see my baby boy, so I can imagine what she's going through, you know, only, you know, as him being so small.
The two mothers have been each other's support system since they met at the hospital.
It's great to know that we have each other.
I don't wish this on anybody. I don't. But if you do, please have faith.
No, go walk.
You want to go walk?
2-year-old Ethan was diagnosed with leukemia AML on his 2nd birthday.
All done.
After months of chemo, the only solution left is a direct bone marrow transplant from his mom.
Knowing that Ethan can get something, a part of me, brings us together even more.
And only 10% of Hispanics make up the bone marrow donors in the entire world. Despite the odds, Ethan's mother is a match for her son. We will share their story tonight at 10. And I just talked with Mark's father, who says he has been battling an infection after the transplant and has been in ICU. But today, on Christmas Eve, has been improved enough to go back to his regular room. We wish both Mark and Ethan the very best.
Drivers claim that construction cost them big. KXAN's Casey James joins us live in Southwest Austin with more on this issue. Casey?
Drivers we talked to said there was a ridiculous amount of loose gravel and oil on the roads early July. Now, crews did come out and clean it up, but by then, the damage had been done.
But I don't remember any signs at all, any warning or anything on Slaughter Lane on this day, which was July 7th.
Mike Jackson is the proud owner of a '73 Corvette Coupe.
There's a crack here now.
A car he had dreamed of since he was a boy.
We've got rock chips on the hood. This is a brand new hood. I bought the hood specifically for this car.
Jackson said it's not just the hood, but all over. Complaints to the city that day was enough to send crews out to help clean up the loose gravel. You can see one sign warning drivers, but folks we talked with said they didn't see any earlier that day.
The estimate I've got on mine is over $10,000. It's just a complete paint job, body work, fiberglass work on all the panels.
Jackson thinks the city should pay, so he filed a claim. After weeks of phone calls and waiting, he got his answer.
It's just 2 lines. 1, here's your claim number. 2, we're going to deny the claim based on government immunity.
Which means the city isn't going to pay. As part of the Texas Tort Claims Act, cities are not liable for damage caused while performing certain government functions, such as road work.
It's bogus. It's BS. It's a crock.
Jackson hopes the city will do more to keep this from happening to other drivers.
All you had to do was put signs up, block the road off when there's that much gravel on the road. Block the road off. Don't let cars on the road.
The city has received 8 claims because of the damage. Now, with so much construction going on around town, the city wants folks to look out for any dangerous situations, or if they're going through any construction zones and see a lack of warning signs, to call 311 and report it. In Southwest Austin, Casey James, KXAN News.